Hey there, just outside of my naturopaths, and I'm a little bit early. I've got 10 minutes before it's my appointment, so I'm just going to pop myself down on this little bus stop and have a quick chat to you about asking yourself what you really need to do to get the freedom back in your life. Now, where did this conversation come from? Well, this week I have been doing a lot of interviews for people to come into my Rockstars Mastermind. So I've been talking with people who have businesses ranging from turnover of $35,000 a year to turnover of up to $1 million a year. And what I found, the recurring theme for every single person who I got on the phone with was that they felt really stuck in their business, and that the main reason that they'd started their business was to have freedom, financial freedom and personal freedom. Looking a little bit shiny out here in the sun. But the people who had the financial freedom were really struggling with the personal freedom side. And the people who had the personal freedom, and for those people, admittedly, they weren't working full-time in their businesses, they were missing out on the financial side. So what does it take in order for you to get that personal freedom and that financial freedom in your business? Now, I don't have the answer for you here on this Facebook Live, but I want to just give you a little snippet of what I did in my day today. So I woke up this morning. My husband is currently overseas, so it's just Lana and I. Woke up this morning. I took Lana to school, and it was a little bit earlier than normal because she had sport. And then I decided I was going to go for a run. I'd set myself the challenge last night in bed that I was going to go for a run, and I haven't been healthy enough to run for quite some time. So I felt a lot healthier, and I thought I'm going to go for a run. So I put my running gear on, I took Lana to school, and then I went for a run. And I also committed myself to being a volunteer at the school canteen today. So I literally had an hour and a half between going for a run to having to be back at school in order to be at the canteen. So I came home, I went for my run. It wasn't as much running, there was some walking in there as well. But I went for my run, came back, I had a shower, I had some breakfast. I did a little bit of work on our new website, which if you're watching this live, go and have a look. It's brand new. It's not 100% functional. And this is just, I wasn't going here with this conversation, but this is just another example of just sometimes just doing something to see what the results were. So let me just digress back to the website for a second, which was we've been working on this website since last Easter, so nearly 12 months. And our biggest problem was Google was indexing this other sub website that we'd built, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good for search engines, it wasn't good for people trying to find me. And so we made the decision to just cut the website across no matter what was broken, what wasn't working, and we would just have to deal with the problems coming along. Now, we did have to fix up the courses stuff, and so if you have done one of my courses, or if you have access to one of my courses, if you have any problems, please just give my support team a call, because we have tested it. It does seem to be working, but if it's not, just let us know. We'll certainly get that fixed for you. But this is, some people call it taking an imperfect action. This was a case of, I just knew that the longer we left it, it just was never going to happen. It was going to become even out of date, because even as it was, we were having to update. We'd have to keep two assets running. Every time we did a new podcast, we'd have to copy them across to both. So I just made the decision to cut it across today. So if you go there and things are broken, it's okay. We'll get onto it. I know that I know that the speaking part has some Lorem Ipsum text, all that kind of stuff. But this is what I needed to do in order to get that freedom of having to maintain two websites. Okay, so that was one thing. So went to school, helped out at the school canteen, and now I've come to the naturopath, who I need to go in about 5 minutes, because I really need to look after myself. So far today, I was really quite proud, because one, I looked after my physical health by going for a run. The second one was I looked after my mental health by going and helping out at the school canteen. It really fills me up to be able to give back in some small way. And now I'm going to look after my gut health with the naturopath. So today has been, even though I felt like today was really, really busy, today has been actually quite a lot of looking after myself in in the physical form, in the spiritual form, and also in the mental health form. And going back to the conversations I've been having with people who have been looking at coming into the mastermind, the common recurrence was this missing piece of freedom. So I want to ask you now, what do you have to do? What is one thing that you would really love to do no matter how small? And some of the things that came up in conversations were, I'd just love to be able to cook dinner once a week. I would love to be able to pick my kids up from school once or twice a week. I'd love to be able to take a Saturday off. That was a big one that came up quite a few times. What is just one little thing? It doesn't have to be the hugest thing in the world. It doesn't have to be a money goal. But what is one little thing that you can work towards to give yourself freedom? And then, what are you going to do about it? So if it is something like, I'm going to cook dinner once a week, can you put that in your diary? Can you say, look, looking at my schedule, that might even be a weekend. Saturday is going to be the day that I'm going to make the lasagna I've always been hoping to make, or I'm going to sit down and make the really nutritious dinner that I know I've been missing out on because I'm super, super busy. My husband's busy, my partner's busy, whatever. But I'm going to do it. This week, I am going to do it. If it's picking your kids up from school, what can you shuffle? Because the minute you do it once, the minute you've booked it into your schedule and you can see that you can do this thing once, you are going to be able to find the time or the resources to be able to do it again. Now, once upon a time, I never thought I'd be able to take a whole Friday off. Like, that is just unheard of for me. But yet, here I am today, and I'm happy about it. I know that when I get home, I have to do a little bit more video editing. I've got my team working on stuff that's broken on the website. As I'm getting messages from people, my team are looking after that, so I don't have to stress myself about it. So sometimes this idea of how unfree we are, how constricted and how restrained we are, is actually all within our heads. So I challenge you, what is one little thing that you can do to give yourself a little bit of freedom in your life? Comment below, let me know, and let's hash out how you can make this happen in the next 7 days, okay? A little challenge. What little thing are you going to do to make it feel like you've got freedom? And how are we going to get you there? Pop it in the comments and let me know. Okay, I've got to go in, so just before I go, let me quickly just walk up there because my gorgeous naturopath has just done a complete rebrand and I love it. I hope you guys can see it there. Beautiful. So her branding is this kind of very, very pale salmon pink with gold and copper and wood. So I love it. Her name is Kate O'Flynn, if you're asking, and her brand new branding is called Orbit of You, which is fantastic. Okay, comment below, let me know what you're going to do to have freedom and how you're going to get there. Bye.